Welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the best Size Freak build in all Biomutant. We're going to go over the perks. We're going to go over stuff that you need to actually get, different armor that you need to get, how to build it, all that good stuff. So if all of that sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated. And let's talk about the best Size Freak build in Biomutant. So to get started, guys, the first things we're going to want to know is exactly what breed to pick out of all these. Now, there are a couple ones that actually fare very well with the with the Size Freak. We have the Rex, the Flip, and the Murgle. Now, the one I would recommend is the Flip due to the fact that it has the most power, the most Kai energy, and the energy regen. The most important here, of course, is the energy regen and the Kai energy. Those are the main priorities. So, of course, whenever you're making a character, you're going to want to go Flip when you do that. After that, it's going to ask you to pick your genetics. Now, in genetics, this is where people might be going wrong with this particular build. There's different stuff, attributes you're able to pick. So you can put vitality, strength, agility, charisma, and intellect. Right here, guys, to be honest, nothing else matters more than intellect. So you're going to want to go all the way full intellect, guys, on this, pushing this to 99. Once you go do that, you guys should get to go. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting one, and I'm going to give you a tip, especially if you're barely creating a character. Now, in the beginning stages of the game, the most predominant one would probably be Biohazard. And I got to tell you guys, to be honest, Biohazard should be your #1 priority because this is the best way to actually race all of these. So what you want to do is go all the way full Biohazards and you guys should be good to go. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, Laser, what do you mean that's the best way to race these? You guys are definitely going to want to watch my farm video on how to farm to get all those other ones fully leveled up. So make sure you guys keep it locked in this channel so you guys won't miss when that goes on. Now, for class, guys, you're going to go with the Size Freak. The reason why we're going with this one is because it's the best one. And we also want to make sure we take up its ability, which is Spark Ball. This is going to actually carry you throughout the majority early portions of the game, and it does a ton of damage. It pretty much allows you to shoot a spark ball by pressing down the input you have mounted to the ability. It will make you throw the ball in the direction you're facing, inflicting damage to the enemy that it hits. A quick tip, if you actually hold down whatever button you have mapped to it, it's going to actually create a bigger ball, which is going to do a little bit more damage, which is really cool. We're also going to be getting a Mega Mind, which is your high energy regen is increased by 20%. So that's how you want to build the character. Now let's take a look at the perks and the abilities that are going to make this character stand out and destroy everything that comes in its path. All right, guys, so here we have a look at my level 26 Size Freak, and I already have it fully leveled up in the sense of where I want it to be, where it's doing a ton of damage. As you guys see already, my intellect is at 280. We've been just stacking up intellect. The only time we actually spend one additional point is we put it into luck, and that's because of the critical chance. Because with this build, you're going to be using your abilities a lot, but you also will shoot eventually. So you want to make sure that when you shoot, you get a little bit of chance there to get that critical chance. It's at 40, but the majority of this is actually coming from my armor. And we also increased the loot chance by 10%, which is pretty good because that way you can find better loot. But the main bread and butter here is the intellect at 280. Of course, we're going to want to make sure we get these up to 300, which we should be good to go. Now, in addition to that, we're also going to be taking a look at the perks. Now, there are some general perks that I want to recommend for this particular one. All right, so let's take a look at the general tab and tell you the ones I recommend, especially that I consider to become almost a requirement when it comes to putting this build together. We have Kai Energizer, which allows you to do is using after a successful special attack to replenish some of your Kai energy. Really important because since you're going to be using special attacks very constantly, you're going to want to make sure you're getting that, that energy back as well. Another one that I want to recommend is Adrenaline. Your health regen is increased by 40% while you're in combat. Really important. It helps you keep that survivability, and it just helps you out for survivability. Then we have Perfect Reload. Your ranged weapons are reloaded instantly, and your next magazine is granted at 20% damage. Like I said, yes, you're going to be using a lot of abilities, but when you use your gun, you want to have stuff at your disposal. This is not a total requirement, but it's something that I highly recommend. The last one I want to recommend, guys, is called Plated. What this does is that any add-ons you put on your clothes or equipment have their armor value increased by 25%, once again giving you that survivability. So out of all those four that I mentioned, High Energizer, Plated, and Adrenaline is definitely the ones I would recommend as far as the general chaps. Those are the ones you're probably going to be spending the points. It's going to be like roughly, I believe this is 3 points, this is 2 points, and this is 2 points. So I believe it's like a total of 7 upgrade points that you're just going to need for that. Next up, we're going for the Size Freak perks. This one I recommend you guys pick all of them because all of them are really good. But if you had to pick some that are going to be more important than others, Mega Mind is definitely one that you want to pick, and this one actually comes unlocked. You want to make sure that you pick this one as well. Power damage ability attacks have a 10 chance to inflict critical hit. Now the problem with Mind Melt is I haven't seen it crit anything. I don't know if it's critting by us not seeing the crit number, but I just don't see that this is actually working. If this gets fixed, this is going to become even better. Then we have Size Spikes. Power damage attacks inflict 10 more damage to the target, so I would recommend this one. And then we have Brain Drain attacks that inflict power damage to regenerate your health by 20%. So basically the three what I would recommend if you need to unlock it: Brain Drain, Size Spikes, and Mega Mind, which should theoretically already be unlocked for you guys. So that's as far as the perks. Now let's talk about what you want to do to make this character even better, because you're going to want to make sure you go to the mutations, and you're going to want to make sure you know what are the best abilities you can actually use for the Cypher. So I'm going to give you guys the ones I recommend at the start, and then we're going to talk about the more advanced ones, the ones that are going to be a little bit expensive. They're going to cost you a little bit more points and have also dark and light associated to it. So the first one that comes with is Spark Ball. This is going to carry you throughout the entire game. This is really, really effective. Like I said, there's multiple ways of you actually shooting this. You could just kind of spam and shoot, or you could also just hold down the button and throw it and lob it at someone, and it does a little bit more damage. The only problem with this is that you get shot while you're holding down the button, it will cancel it out. So it's effective sometimes, and sometimes it's not that effective. The next one I want to talk about, guys, is Freeze. This, I even have this at early stages and also late stages. This, I believe, costs you 7 side points, and I believe it's 3 light. I'm not 100% sure on how many light this is, but this one right here is actually pretty good, because not only does it, are you able to spam it, so you're able to do it multiple times, but you're also able to freeze the enemy. And what I was doing is I was freezing the enemy and doing my Spark Ball charge and killing them really good. So those are the two that I would recommend. Now, as far as the other ones that I go concerned, which is the Bionetics, you're going to be able to pick from this one. This one right here, guys, is really good. I would highly recommend early stages of the game to pick this one up. Basically, what this does is that when you throw this little green goo, it changes the enemies from attacking you to attack the other enemies, and this will carry you through quite exponentially. I think just with the combination of those, you guys should be good. Last one I want to recommend is Rad Wisps. Now this one I still use endgame. This is really good at early games because you're able to unlock this really fast, and this is by far one of the first ones I would recommend you guys unlock. This one allows you to shoot those little spheres and hit damage people. The cool thing about this one is you don't even have to be facing them. It auto targets them, so you get to be jumping, running, moving around, and you'll be able to cause damage with the Rad Wisp. So this is really important. So all right, so for endgame, guys, the ones I would recommend is Freeze. This is actually really good. Really helpful, especially for controlling bosses or controlling mass areas of effect. This is really good. Like I said, it does a ton of damage and it helps you freeze, so it is awesome. Really good. The next one I want to recommend is this one, which is called Kai Spark. This is actually one of the best, if not the best one currently right now in the game. The only problem with this one, guys, is you actually have to be facing the enemies to target multiple ads, but it does a ton of damage. It melts people like crazy. It's really good. Now, the other one I want to recommend is the Sky Spark. This one right here, guys, it's extremely awesome and does a ton of damage. The cool thing about this one is you actually are able to target where you want it to hit, and you could do a ton of damage. Basically, the way I combo this, I pop the Sky Spark, and then I just do the Kai Spark, and boom, bada ding, people are dead instantly. And last but not least, guys, the other one I want to recommend is going to be in the Biogenetics, and that is the Rapid Wisp. I basically combine this with the Lightning, and it's just instant melt, guys. Instant melt. It's such a good combo, and that is the combo you want to have, especially if you're running these. So basically, this is your god tier combo when it comes to being able to get the abilities for the Cypher. Now, in addition to that, guys, this one right here, the one that drops the purple biome or boom, that one right there, I believe it's 30 dark. So you're gonna have to need dark points. It's gonna cost you 30 dark. And this one right here, which is the Kai Spark, costs you 30 light. You want to make sure that whichever one you want to pick first, which I would recommend this one, the Kai Spark, is try to get your light to 30 and make sure you guys are saving side points to be able to unlock that as quickly as you possibly can. That way you guys are, you have your abilities ready to go. All right, so now that we covered that, let's talk about gear, guys. So for gear, guys, you're going to be focusing on two primary things. Number one is you're going to want to make sure your gear gives you enough Kai energy and energy regen. That is the main thing you want to be focusing on when you're getting gear. In addition to that, you also want to make sure you have some gear giving you a little bit more armor and a little bit more health. This is extremely important because that's going to give you the nice survivability. Out of that, that's basically the only things you really have to focus on gear. It's pretty much your Kai energy, your energy regen, and your vitality. And out of that, you guys are going to be solid. You're not going to be focusing too much on strength because you're not going to be mailing people that much. Primarily, the most power you're going to be doing is from your from your abilities and your gun, which is not really that important because you're going to shoot it at a very minimal clip. But in addition to that, guys, I think those are the main ones you want to focus on when you're looking for gear. A lot of high energy, a lot of energy regen, and some vitality to help you to survive and tank a couple hits from the enemies. And there you guys have it. That is the best Cyfreak build currently right now in Biomutant. I'm telling you guys right now, you guys are not going to be disappointed if you went a different route and picked a different character. The Cyfreak might be the best class currently right now in the game because it does a ton of damage, and that is with a bugged ability that doesn't give crits when you're using your abilities. Imagine if it did, this would be definitely the best class out of all in Biomutant. Check it out, try it out, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. I do hope you guys are enjoying our Biomutant coverage. If you are doing the heat favor, guys, drop a comment, drop a like, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications so you guys won't miss when our videos go live. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.